I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, After Buzzers? I'm Jane Johnsen here with Quarantine with the Stars, Bravo celebrities, and I am so excited to bring you guys a full lineup of our stars from the brand new Bravo show, Camp Getaway. And starting first, I've got David Schreiber here, who's going to tell us all about his quarantine experiences, but also about owning and founding the camp that's featured on the new show. So very happy to have you, David Schreiber. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Jane. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, quarantined.
Quarantined, baby. We're doing our part to stay home and stay safe.
There you go.
Well, so you let me know that you are quarantining at your home about an hour away from the camp in Connecticut, correct?
Correct. I'm in Connecticut. I'm about an hour away from Camp Getaway. Yep. And about twice a week, I get to go up there. It's me and 300 acres right now. So definitely socially distancing.
Yes, very socially distanced. That's awesome. So what inspired you to open the camp?
So my wife and I were camp directors for children for about 10 years. And the parents of these children would ask us time and time again, oh, why don't you ever do this for adults? Why don't you ever do this for adults? And it just came in. We thought we had this great idea. We're going to open up a camp for adults. And then we were looking for properties, and we found that this one place existed that was an old converted summer camp that was almost like a singles resort. And we decided to purchase this property. And after that, we kind of focused more on the camp experience more so than the singles experience, so that we wanted everybody to enjoy summer camp and kind of relive their youth and kind of live in the moment. And at the time, back in 2012, we thought it was, it's a time when everybody was on their phones and everyone's on their screens like we are now. But it's just a great respite to get away from it all and just put away your phones and live in the moment.
Yeah. And so 2012, it seems like you guys were kind of at the forefront, because now it does seem like it's a little bit of a trend to have some of these adult summer camps, and also just glamping in general is such an experience that people love doing. So that's really cool that you were able to capitalize that and create a camp that obviously is fun and exciting enough for Bravo to want to work with and film. So how did that come about, and what excited you about working with Bravo to create a reality show?
Well, I mean, since we started this concept, I mean, we would laugh that we felt like we were living a reality show. It's like we lived it, between dealing with the guests and our full-time crew. We have 150 crew members at camp. And then dealing with the weekend, our weekend crew, our social coordinators who come up to camp, and it's almost like their moonlighting job that they're doing, right? So they come up to camp, they're professionals, but then they come up here and it's not their main focus of a job, but I have to get them to buy into what we do. So it definitely, it is great for a reality show, and I wanted to educate the world on adult summer camps and what we do there.
It's so cool because play is so trendy for adults and people in corporations. I know there's always like businesses who are trying to bring in like improv activities, or, coloring books for adults are so popular, or I'm doing a paint by numbers right now in quarantine.
Right.
You're definitely capitalizing on something that people need. Do you feel like you have Peter Pan syndrome?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I have Peter Pan syndrome.
And I think myself and everyone in LA agrees with you. Who do you feel like of your staff has Peter Pan syndrome the most?
Adam, to come up to camp, to work 5 days a week, and in some very demanding jobs, and then to decide to come up to camp, I think every one of our crew members have a Peter Pan syndrome. I mean, because they're taking that 48 hours of just being a kid, and they're doing it one weekend after next, after next, after next. So for them to even commit to that, you have to have a Peter Pan syndrome.
I love that. And I know that all of our Bravo fans have really been living for Bravo during quarantine. So to be able to see you guys at camp having fun and out in the open in the sunshine, that's going to be really really helpful for us to kind of get through and see that light at the end of the tunnel after quarantine. So it's a good time for this to be launching for all of us. I feel like it could be maybe a mix between like a below deck vibe and a summer house. If they made a baby in the woods, that would be Camp Getaway.
I couldn't put it better myself.
So to live in the Bravo verse a little bit, obviously Lisa Vanderpump, she leads all of her staff at SUR, and her managerial style is very interesting. She said she doesn't condone fraternization, but obviously we know that it happens at SUR. So how do you feel about fraternization happening at your summer camp, and what sort of goes on, and how do you let that happen or not?
I feel that our guests are here, they come to camp to just have fun. I mean, point blank, unlike any other business in the world, they're there to have fun. And I think that with our staff, our social coordinators are there to have a good time, but there has to be more to it. They have to be, ready to take care of our guests' needs. They have to be ready to make sure that they're facilitating that good time. And they also have to make sure that they're keeping everybody safe. There's we say, leave your worries to the side when you're at camp and let us worry for you. So we're, I'm going to do all the worrying for you. So we have staff that will make sure that everybody's safe. I think our social coordinators, I'm really hoping that they're going to be the peers of our guests, right? What's the difference between a resort and camp? Well, I think the big thing is the counselors. And these are who our social coordinators are. They are our counselors. They're here to facilitate the fun. And they're there to be, your best friends for the weekend and even sometimes after the weekend. And so there sometimes is a gray line of what happens with our guests and with our staff. And it's my job to keep that line very solid. And I think some of this show might show some of the struggles of keeping that a solid line.
Have you ever fired anyone for crossing that line between staff and guests?
Yeah, I mean, every year I fire people because of that.
And we'll see that on the show this year?
You'll have to watch.
Oh gosh, you're keeping me on my toes. What's the craziest thing someone ever did that you had to step in and fire them for?
Watch the show.
You should be a politician, David. Very diplomatic answers for me, but I'm very, very excited about this show. So obviously you're quarantining now. How's that been for you, staying at home? And it's nice that you're able to go to the camp.
Yeah, well, it is nice that I do get out of the house about twice a week. I head up to the camp, and then the rest of the time I'm here with my family. So I have 2 teenage kids, and my feeling is I would never have this time with my kids that I have right now. So in some ways, if I could see a personal light at the end of this, make light of this situation, it's that I really do get to spend some time with my family. They might disagree, don't get me wrong, but I do enjoy that. Yes.
It seems like with all of the camp experience, you're definitely a cool dad. So I'm sure it's great for them to be at home with you.
Yeah, my kids think I'm a dork. So that's all right.
I think all kids think their parents are dorks.
A little bit. Yeah, they definitely say, Dad, you need to grow up.
That's awesome. Well, so what do you think we can look forward to as fans for experiencing on this season, besides the firing?
Didn't say I did that. But I think you will meet some really amazing people, which I do think our whole team is absolutely fantastic. I think you will see the fun and the enjoyment that you could have at camp. And hopefully, obviously as a business owner, my hope is that everybody wants to come to Camp Getaway.
Yes, absolutely. I already want to come. I'll
Yeah,
see you when we're out of this, David.
yeah,
Well, thank
definitely.
you so much for chatting with me today. Where can fans find you?
Jane, thank you. So I am on Twitter at dschreiber170, or Instagram at David Schreiber. And you could also find the Camp Getaway page at camp.getaway on Instagram.
Amazing. So definitely follow along. Camp Getaway premieres on Bravo Monday the 4th at 10, 9 Central. So definitely tune in. We're very excited about this. I'm Jane Johnsen with AfterBuzz TV's Quarantine with the Stars Bravo Celebrities, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Jane, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.